Ms. Jacqueline Tobin. From Hilton Head for the student address, the class of 2016.
I'm honored to speak to all of you this morning. Almost exactly a year ago, I sat in those bleachers and watched my seniors graduate. As I read the program, I tried to imagine my name in the college that would appear next to it. I realized that I didn't have a clue of where I would be going after graduating governor's school. I could picture myself at a dozen universities heading towards just as many different careers. Even now, standing here today, none of us really know exactly where we are going, which is pretty awesome. We may have submitted our deposits and even found a roommate, but plans are bound to change. It means that we get to explore what interests us. We get to try a lot. We get to take advantage of our freedom. Some of us may have a clear idea of the next years, but remember that you are a work in progress. Tastes change, passions develop, perspectives shift, and trial and error is the recommended mode of self-discovery. We are all celebrating the end of a significant portion of our lives. Even though we may feel that we know everything, as Stephen Colbert once said, you cannot be young and wise. I don't have any more life experience than anyone else in my class, making me no more or less qualified to give this speech, a speech where I'm supposed to give sage advice. So instead of attempting to use my limited 18 years to tell you anything worthwhile, as I've realized that I probably think I know a lot more than I actually do, I have compiled some hidden advice that our class has probably all heard during our time at governor's school. First, sign in. These reminders came in an email nearly every night over our favorite form of social media, Outlook. After today, we will no longer have to tell Bresley where we are going out to eat, but we should always remember to sign in. We should sign in to life. We should be present. Sign in with your family and those old high school friends to update them on what's going on in your life. Don't get too distracted by always counting down towards the next step to forget to enjoy the present. My second point. If you've ever had any form of conversation with Coach Pate, it most likely went something like this. Hey Coach Pate, how are you? To which he answered, I'm getting old. An awkwardness. How do you respond to that? I started replying, so what? So am I. And at the exact same rate. Talking to Coach Pate always reminded me of my own mortality, which is honestly depressing. One day, only a few weeks ago, I finally asked him why he always said this. Coach Pate explained that he sees getting old as a good thing. It means that you're still alive. At least for me, it feels like life is going by very quickly, and we're all of a sudden older than I can remember. So we should just try to adopt Coach Pate's attitude. Getting older is a good thing. My third point also comes from a faculty member. If you've ever had a class with Senora Ingram, then you have been told tough tacos. This is the shortest and sweetest piece of advice / consolation / explanation given. Just as Senora would never divulge exactly what she meant, you may interpret it as you wish, but keep it in mind. floor one. Hopefully most of the elevators we will use from here on out will be faster than the ones in the residence halls. But the practice still holds true. Pay back what has been done for you. Your successes have likely been the product of many hands. So if given the chance, pay them back, or at least pay it forward. Which leads to my final point, taken from our trusty student handbook. Walk with a buddy. As you move on after graduation, know that you don't always have to walk alone, and sometimes you can't. I'm certain that we have all been stuck on a physics problem and had to ask for help. Or if you're too proud to admit that, there's absolutely no way you unbunked your bed by yourself. When facing obstacles, remember that there are people willing to help you, or at least stand by you along the way. At our home high schools, we were each at the top of our classes, probably known as the smart kid. But we chose governor's school, the harder path, and were stripped of this identity. You were no longer referred to as the smart kid, because then people would just ask, which one? You could no longer define yourself by grades or test scores. However, starting from the bottom forced you to figure out who you are. Our definitions of success changed as we learned how to deal with failure. At GSSM, passing grades are sometimes a cause for celebration. Our definitions of success will likely continue to change throughout our lives. We have been metaphorically knocked down and forced to redefine ourselves. But now that it's over, you realize that the initial blow of a less than satisfactory grade, or realization that you may not be as smart as you think you are, actually built you up. We have all been through a unique challenge, disillusioned of its actual difficulty by our incredible intelligence. But what we have accomplished is remarkable. This is a challenge that I'm sure we have all questioned the value of. We have envisioned home, a word associated with more than the recommended amount of sleep and 24/7 Wi-Fi, but lacking the supportive faculty and community bond found here at GSSM. In the midst of one of my toughest weeks during last semester, my dad called me. He told me, there are people in this world that wish they had your problems. For any of you facing your toughest days, realize that giving up would be a disservice to the world. I hate to break it to you, but we actually haven't made it. We have much further to go, but every step is making it. Unlike high school, life is not something you complete. Rather, it is something you experience. The experiences we have had, from 3 a.m. fire alarms to jumping in the toxic pond after the annual shaving cream fight, and most importantly, the friendships we have made, are more likely to be remembered than lines of ComSci code or the details of our summer research projects. There are few opportunities that require such dedication, but we have proven that we are capable. This graduation stamps us with a GSSM sign of approval. We all know the struggle, but we have more than survived. So don't opt out of life for the easy road, but continue to push yourself, as I know each of you will. As I believe Governor's School has taught me, the greater the struggle, the more enjoy the success. Amidst all your successes, don't forget the places where you started. Come back to visit. It might help you connect all the dots in your life. Even coming back to this gym just 1 year later, I can see how all the uncertainty of senior year worked out. I hope we all come back in a few years and continue to connect the dots between our time spent here at GSSM, filled with unclear futures, and the people it will help us become. Congratulations to the class of 2016.